Hi, hello, how are you? Good morning, happy Tuesday. I just started filming this clip and then realized it's the start of a new vlog and I hadn't done my intro, but good morning. I just made myself a chai. As you saw, it's here. It's very hot to the touch. My aunt gave us a Keurig, I want to say last year, and I love using it when it's cold. The drink warms me up really nicely. And we got a milk frother from our registry, which was one of the gifts that I was really excited about. So I've been making myself chai the last couple of mornings, and I wanted to update you guys because last night I started Hotel Magnifique by Emily Taylor. I think I needed to read 85 pages and I only got 60 pages in. I was working on the cardigan that I'm making a little bit past 9. Ooh, don't know what just happened there. I was working on the cardigan I was making a little bit past 9. So by the time I got into bed and started reading, and 10 o'clock hit, I was only 60 pages in and feeling really tired. I did find the book, the audiobook on Spotify, which is new. I did not know that that was something Spotify did. I knew that you could purchase Audible books and listen to them on there, but now Spotify Premium has it, and of course I just canceled my premium, but I have it until the 24th, so I'm gonna see how I like it. You can only listen to 15 hours, and I don't know if, because I listen to books on 2 speed, and this one is 11 hours, it'll come out to about 6 hours. Does that mean it's that time that I actually listened to it, or the time that the book actually is? I don't even know if that makes sense, but it would be nice to keep my premium and be able to listen to audiobooks. I just kind of want to test it out maybe for a month or two and see the range, because I tried to listen to The Atlas Paradox and that was a separate purchase. But it also wasn't available on Scribd, which is Enver or something like that now. So it might be better and it's a little bit cheaper, and I would just have to have one subscription. But I started listening to it last night and it is giving me very big Caraval by Stephanie Gerber vibes and Willy Wonka vibes for some reason. It is about these two sisters, Johnny and, oh, I can't remember what the other one's name is. Zosa. They are orphans, don't know who the dad is. The mom died when they were really young. They kind of wasted all their money after she passed away, traveling to a new city, which the older sister regrets and is trying to work to get enough money to take them back to their hometown. But in the meantime, the older sister's working at a tannery and the younger sister is a very gifted singer, so she works kind of in a gentleman's club is the vibe I'm getting, as a performer. And they see this ad in a magazine or a newspaper that says that the Hotel Magnifique is hiring, and it is an elusive hotel. It appears randomly in this aisle every decade and allows, I think, 6 people in, something like that. You win your tickets. So 6 people are chosen, and Zosa and Johnny decide they're going to try to get jobs at the hotel. And Zosa does get a job, Johnny doesn't. But she is determined to go, and so when this guy comes to retrieve her sister, she's like, she's not going with you unless I go. And he is on a timeline. He has to get the sister into the hotel by midnight for some reason. That's not really explained. And so basically, because he's running out of time, he takes Johnny with her. She uses like an old ticket that her boss has from like years ago. And when she steps inside, she literally starts decaying. Like, they even talk about how she's got maggots coming out of her body, which was really gross to read about. But just like the wonder of the hotel and all of the weird things that it has, like a tree that produces glass oranges, and these umbrellas that appear in the hall that have rain coming down, but it's like different types of rain, like tropical rain, and like the Dreary rain in Seattle, like different things like that. And she even walks by one that she's like, this is how it smells when it rains in my hometown. It also really reminds me of the hotel in Nevermore, the Deucalion, and it made me want to put this down and just reread Nevermore. I love that series so much, and I could truly just read stories about the Deucalion for hours, but I'm really enjoying the like whimsy mysticalness of this. So both of the sisters are working at the hotel now, and that's just kind of like the first 60 pages, the intro. I'm assuming whatever I read tonight is going to be kind of more of like where the storyline is going. So it's pretty good. I'm going to get back to work and I will update you later. Hello, happy Thursday. I'm working from the couch. It was really gloomy and rainy yesterday, and it's pretty gloomy on and off today. It's super sunny out right now, but it just felt like working from the couch. And I wanted to update you guys on my reading. So I'm in the middle of Hotel Magnifique. Let's see, 172 pages in. So I read last night, but I didn't read the night before, so I am technically like a day behind. But I will definitely work on like catching up tonight since I don't have work tomorrow. I'm enjoying it. It's creepier and darker than I thought it was going to be. I just kind of assumed it was going to be very whimsical and like magical, based on that it's a magic hotel. But our main character, Johnny, her and her sister are there now. They're working, and they get separated. So Zosa goes to work with the performers, and originally they're sharing a room, and then Johnny gets told, oh, you won't be sharing a room anymore. Your sister's going to be placed in a room by the performers, and you'll stay over here. And so weeks go by without her, or days, not weeks yet, but a few days go by without her seeing her, and Johnny's starting to notice all these weird things, like when she asks people their names, it takes them a while to come up with it, or where they're from. They get really upset about it. And she notices like just other weird things. The security guards, they're twins who are each missing an eyeball. And everyone just seems really cagey, and she's like realizing that things are not as mystical and magical as she thought that they were. And she meets the maitre, and he's like the guy who owns the hotel, and she's still talking to Belle, and he is kind of giving her hints also that things are going awry. They're looking for these things called artifacts, which help the magicians channel their magic. And I think it's more of a way for the mater to control their magic, and they're hunting for them. That's the reason why the hotel moves where it moves. The mater is having Belle hunt for these artifacts. And Johnny has like a run-in with another magician there. They called sommeliers, I think. She accidentally falls into this like game room, and she's like, you need to let me out. I'm going to get in trouble for being in here. I can't be in here with the guests. And the girl Red is like, I can't let you out. Like, that's not how the rules work. And so Johnny is able to get them out, but in doing so she ruins the game and Red gets in trouble. And later that night, when Johnny is like wandering the hall she's not supposed to be, she sees Red like splayed out on a table, and this like right-hand lady to the mater is pulling out one of her eyes and dipping it into her teapot, and it turns porcelain, and then she puts it back in, and it's like a punishment. And I guess if the eye comes out, it's taken out, the person disintegrates, they die. So she is like, what the fuck is going on here? She gets found out for spying, she gets taken to the mater, and he amends her contract so that she forgets her sister, forgets who she is, from where she is, where she's from, forgets her name. He gives her a new name. She's going by Moll now. And then we cut to the next chapter and she still remembers. She doesn't know how she remembers, and she, you know, tells Belle that she doesn't, you know, she still remembers who she is, but he tells her, you need to pretend to be Moll. You need to pretend that his magic worked. So they're trying to kind of figure out a way out of her contract to rescue her sister, who is a performer, but the woman that she works for turns her into a bird every night and keeps her in a cage. So it's just a lot darker than I thought it was going to be. And of course, not last night, but the night before, I just wasn't feeling like reading because I wasn't super interested in the story, and I'm glad I made myself read last night because it got good. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm into this creepy vibe. What's going on with this hotel? So reading also really lifted my mood. I was having a really rough day yesterday. So after work, I didn't cook dinner, I didn't clean or do anything. I sat on the couch with the slider open and I listened to the rain and I watched the Great British Bake Off, and I just crocheted for like 3 hours, and it was so lovely. And I definitely feel so much better today. I got up and I got dressed and I did my hair. That's also a really big thing for me, like getting dressed and not feeling frumpy. Sometimes I'm fine with. Recently I've been wanting to look a little bit more presentable, so I'm just working and I'm off tomorrow. I'm maybe gonna have lunch with my cousin on like Friday or Saturday, we'll see. He has a job now, so I don't know what his schedule is like, but I'm feeling much better. And who knows, I'm halfway through this book already. It's only 391 pages long. I'm 170 in, so I've got about 200, about 100 something left, and I might just finish it tonight because I'm really enjoying it. So I will update you guys when I'm done. Good afternoon. It's like 1 o'clock. It's Sunday. I got my hair done on Friday. I'm super happy with it. I had a bunch of layers put in. I haven't really done anything to it since we got engaged, and I just really wanted to change it up a little bit, not too much. Just when I straighten my hair, it's all one length and I feel like it's really blah, so having the layers put into it just makes it feel like it has more flow, but I don't have to curl it to feel like it looks nice. So had my hair done. I finished Hotel Magnifique. I really enjoyed it. If you liked Carval or The Night Circus, both of which I loved and were 5 stars for me, this is a really good read for you. It wasn't a 5 stars, I gave it 4, but it was still really good. The like premise, I think I've gone over it a little bit. So from where I finished, like I said, our main character Johnny is starting to see all the cracks in the magic, the sinister things that are going on, and she is determined to get her contract voided, her sister's and Belle, the guy that she's falling in love with, and her friends' contracts voided so that they can escape the hotel. So she hatches this plan to do that. She figures out that she is a summoner, she has magic, and when the mater finds out, he locks her up in this room and says, with your abilities, you're going to draw me a map to this artifact, which is a ring that he thinks can bestow and take away magic. So it turns out that the mater doesn't actually have any magic. He just uses the magic of other people. He steals it from them, from their lives. And so he wants to find this ring so that he can finally fully give himself magic, so he doesn't have to steal it from other people. And his promise, or his like justification for being a horrible person, is that he is eventually going to find the ring and give back the magic he stole from all of the other summonaires. So Johnny hatches this plan. She enlists a bunch of the other hotel workers who she wasn't sure at first she could trust, but it seems just kind of like everybody is tired of being under the mater's foot and being scared of what he's going to do to them. And I just really enjoyed it. I love books that are so full of magic like this. You just get so transported to another world and sink into them. And it was a very quick read. The font is kind of large on the book. I started Discovery of Witches last night. I only got like 13 pages in, and the font is so teeny tiny on the page. Like I said, I only got 13 pages in because I was really tired by the time I got into bed to read. I'm still working on the like cardigan I was making, and I've started making cowls, so I have to do like 15 rows of this. If you don't know what a cowl is, it's basically just like it's an infinity scarf. That's what it is. But it's supposed to be worn more as like a hood, so it's a really thick circle scarf, so that you can pull up over your head. If you watched Wednesday, Enid makes one for her and one for Wednesday, and I thought that my Nana and my aunts would really like them, so I'm like taking a break from the cardigan so that I can work on this. I'm already 5 rows and I need to do 15, so I'm thinking I should be able to make them relatively quickly. Still work on the cardigan, hopefully steam it so that it kind of like drops the fabric a little bit and becomes a little bit looser, but it just feels like there's so much to do. I also need to finish like taking the thumbnail photos, or like clipping them from the video so that I can upload last week's vlog, because I really want to stay on top of that. And I need to catch up on yesterday's reading that I didn't do, so there's just a lot to be done. But I'm gonna go and hopefully get done the things that I need to get done today, and update you guys tomorrow and close out the vlog then. Good morning, happy Monday. I just finished my yearly eval with my new program manager, and I friggin' killed it. I was super nervous. She's a lot more withdrawn than my previous manager, and I was so close to Anthony that I really wasn't sure how this was gonna go. But she told me she really appreciates me, that I do a really good job. And so that was really nice to hear. I'm getting my full 5%. And we also got like a bonus kind of raise increases outside of our normal evals, but I had to wait until my yearly eval to get it. So instead of 5, I'm getting an extra 3%, which is 8, which I'm so excited about. That's like a whole $1.50 added. And we're saving for a house, so I really needed that. And I'm just feeling in a really good mood. I read some of The Discovery of Witches last night. I read 80 up to page 89, I think, to page 90. Which is where I was supposed to have been the day before. I thought that I was going to be able to catch up, but even reading on 2 speed, I feel like I'm not making that much progress. So I think what I'm gonna do, instead of trying to just catch up all at once, I'm gonna add 20 pages onto every day. So instead of reading 79 today, I'll read 99, just round it out to 100. That way I will have caught up by the end of the week when I'm supposed to be done with this. But I'm really enjoying it. Again, I really like the dark academia vibes. I like that this is set in Oxford. She's spending most of her time in a library doing research and studying. She is a witch. What's her name? Diana. She's a witch. She does not use her powers though. Her parents were killed in an accident, I think, in Africa. And she just comes from a very long line of witches who have very high expectations for her, and she has decided magic is the reason my parents died. I am denouncing it. I'm not using it. She does occasionally use it, and she's really hard on herself about that. There's like a book that she can't reach, and she uses her magic to pull it down. And she's like, oh, that's 5 times this year that I've used magic, and it's only September, and I'm like, geez, like she is really, really strict with herself. And in that moment when she pulls the book down, she meets a vampire, Matthew, or what is his last name? Claremont. And he has been kind of like watching her, and he continues to do so because she was able to pull a book from the library archives, Ashmold 783, something like that. And apparently it's a lost manuscript. People have not been able to see it, and it describes the beginnings of like magic, where werewolves, vampires, demons, and witches come from. And it is highly sought after. From the moment that she discovers that, she is just hounded by people who want to get it, who think that she took it home or that she has some way of accessing it. And so Matthew is kind of cozying up to her, and she can tell. She knows that that's what he wants. But she decides she's going to befriend him because she wants something from him. But they're a little flirty. Not like high school flirty though. They're just, I like the way that their relationship is building. And that he is just a sweet, soft man. Obviously he's a vampire. He could kill her in a heartbeat. But he's very old school, traditional, because he's like 500 years old. And so she's very independent, and the way that they fight is really cute, I think, because he's like, oh, why do women insist on opening their own car doors? And she's like, because it shows that I'm independent. And they just kind of like glare at each other and decide it's not worth fighting over, but then he immediately opens the door and she's like, you go in first. So I like their banter. I like the way that they are with each other. And the setting of this, it's just going to take me a while to get through, and I have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. This is my favorite time of year. We have so many days off when you work for the government. This is my favorite time of year. So hopefully I will be able to get plenty of reading done this week and still be able to read The Nightbirds, which is my last book on my TBR. I haven't completed a TBR since like May. So I'm really looking forward to this, but I am going to close this out now since it's Monday, and I will talk to you guys later. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know how your month is going so far, what plans you have for Thanksgiving. I'm going to my husband's family's house first, but just for a little bit, and then I'm going to my mom's house. We're having Thanksgiving at her house this year instead of my Nana's. It is our first Thanksgiving without my papa, so I just want to spend time with my family. I think next year we need to start alternating and just doing, you know, his house, my mom's house. It's just easier. They don't live very far away from each other, where his mom's house is and where my mom's house is. It's maybe like 20 minutes in between, so I don't mind driving back and forth. But I know he does, so we'll see how next year goes. But I will talk to you guys later. Bye!